Okay, so it's Friday at around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Had a busy day so far. I've been up since 6 a.m. at the spin studio, meetings all morning. Just got in a quick hill repeat on the Niagara Escarpment, and I've got a full afternoon ahead of me. But before I did anything else, I wanted to get the pizza dough going because it needs about 5 or 6 hours to rise properly. So the best thing I can suggest to you is to buy a pizza dough maker. These things are fabulous. And this is going to take just a couple seconds. So we need a cup and a half of warm water. Just pour that straight in. We need about a tablespoon of honey. So we're going to add just about a tablespoon of honey. We need 2 tablespoons of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. There's 1. There's 2. All right, we need about a teaspoon and a half of salt. So 1 1/2. All right, now, if you like to make whole wheat flour, it gets a little tricky here. If you use all whole wheat flour, it's gonna end up being a little bit too tough to spread out. So what I normally do is I'll use 1/4 cup of whole wheat flour, and then I'll use 1 full cup of whole wheat flour. Okay. Then I'll take the regular white flour, and I'll get 3 cups of that in there. So we've got a total of 4 1/4 cups of flour when we're done. So there's 1, 2, 3. So that's a total of 4 1/4 cups of flour. Last thing we want to do is put in our yeast. So make sure you get the bread machine yeast. We're going to put 2 teaspoons of that in. All right, guys, that is as easy as it is to make pizza dough. What you're going to want to do now is just cover that up, plug it in, let it sit for about, well, 4 or 5 hours. It'll be done in an hour and a half. I like to let it rise. So really, that's all there is to making pizza dough. So you can put that in the wall now, plug it in, and we'll come back and visit it in about 5 6 hours. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need if you're making your homemade pizza is a pizza stone. This is key. And you're going to want to have the oven set to 450 degrees. This preheated in the oven, and that's where our pizza is going to go on to cook up nice and crisp. So you can see that this is a whole wheat pizza dough. It's kind of risen and fallen a little bit now. Going to get some flour on the cutting board. We're going to cut that into 3 pizza doughs actually when we get it out. Just like that, you've got pizza dough. Take the paddle out. And now what you've got is 1 massive pizza dough, which would come up a little bit too thick if you like thick crust pizza, I suppose that would be good like that, but we don't, so we're gonna thin this up. So what I normally do is just roll this up, like so. Cut it into 3 even portions, like so. Make a bit of a ball out of it. Put it onto saran wrap or plastic wrap, roll it up, and that's going to go in the freezer for next Friday. So that leaves us with 2. We're going to put 1 onto a piece of parchment paper. Just let it sit there. The other one, we're going to get that going into a dough. So just pat it down sort of round, a little more flour on top, get a roller out, and start rolling. So the idea is you want to get a nice flat round pizza, as round as it can possibly get, or if it's not round, who cares? And we're going to bring this pizza dough over onto this piece of parchment paper. Just sort of keep it round. Okay, so that pizza's ready to go. This one we'll work on in just a minute. Now we made the salsa for that pizza yesterday, and that is going to be nice and combined. We also made some guacamole, which is just basically 5 avocados cut in half, a little bit of salt and some lime juice in there, 1 lime. So we take some of the salsa that we made yesterday, Throw that in. Just to give it a little texture, fold it in. And that's your, maybe a little bit more. That's your finished guacamole right there. Guacamole is a great fat for you. One of the good fats. So go ahead and enjoy that. What we normally do around here is we enjoy our chips, our salsa, and our beverages. Okay, so the key to this pizza, we're not putting any sauce on the pizza at all, but you've got a lot of liquid here in this salsa. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually get in there with your hands. You're going to just sort of try to squeeze out some of the salsa. Just spread it out. If you have too much liquid on there, it's going to make your pizza dough soggy, which we don't want. So just by giving it a quick squeeze, gets a lot of the moisture out. So the last step is to put mozzarella cheese onto the pizza. You buy a matzo ball and cut it up. It's going to melt, it's going to spread pretty evenly across the pizza. So the last thing we're going to do is, if you remember yesterday, we took the lime zest and salt. We're going to hit it with lime zest and salt. So we're going to cook it for 15 minutes at 450 degrees on the pizza stone. Always handy if you got a pizza paddle, you're going to use the parchment paper. It's going to be on the parchment paper because you don't want the pizzas to burn on the pizza stone itself. So in she goes for 15 minutes. All right, pizza's ready. We're going to hit it with a little bit of salt and the lime zest from yesterday. And there you have your Mexican salsa pizza.